in my Airbnb. I'm in Seattle, and this wasn't like a total impromptu trip, but it was just something that was been on my mind for a while, and I planned it out and I did it on my vision board and everything, and I'm finally in one of my dream places that I wanted to go, and just taking it all in today, thinking about where my journey has actually took me, and it's brought me to a bucket list item, and I was pondering on the our misconceptions on how we think that our lives are supposed to go versus the reality of it. And listen, I'm not supposed to be, by statistics, like, I'm a single mother and I also am a high school dropout and I have a million other things going for me. Like, I've been divorced under 20, under 30, you know. I've been a victim of a lot, and that's something I don't really want to say, but I've been through a lot, as we all have been, and I think that what I've opened myself up to through surrendering and trusting, and really becoming what it is, not just becoming the information that you read about spirituality, but actually not just digesting it from a knowledge standpoint as consumption, but really becoming the work that you set out to do for yourself. That has really changed my life. It's so much more than what you think it is waiting for you on the other side. You don't have to wait to have it all together to live the life that you want. Like, I feel enormously rich, and by no means do I have over $100,000 in my bank account or anything like that. I just knew the life that I wanted to live, and I wanted to have more flexibility. Um, you think when you become a business owner that you have more time when you don't. You don't really have more time. You do have more flexibility. And now that I've seen just how to go after what I want, not being afraid of the unconventional things that spirit will send to you. My job is very unconventional, to where I can have the flexibility to live the life that I want. But it doesn't look like that fantasy life that we all think you have. Like, I'm a successful international businesswoman who has 15 billion companies and things like that. It doesn't look like that, especially in the beginning stages. I think my life will grow to be more of, um, be more successful in different areas, but I'm okay with where I am now. And I feel like a fucking rock star, you know? I feel like, damn, I really did this. Like, this trip, I think I maybe today, maybe I had like, I don't know, when I started at maybe $175 in the account, and there's gonna be some more coming in tomorrow, but I made the best with what I had. I didn't wait because for the longest time I thought I had to have like $3,000 and to do all these things, and then you realize like you don't have to have any of those things. You can really just go out with the little bit that you have and make it work. I didn't rent a car this time. I didn't have all those hang-ups that I'd usually have going to a place. And this trip actually helps me realize, like, now you are really the only person in your own way. You really could be your worst enemy if you allow yourself to be. And there's so much more adventure waiting for you out there. You just gotta take the leap. You just gotta trust, like, the guidance that you get. You have to trust yourself, basically. Trust the God frequency that's in you. 100%. You can't ride the fence and say, oh, I'm God today and, you know, Ashley tomorrow. It's a 100% job. It requires all of you. It requires every single part of you, the parts that you don't even want to give up. And it'll force it out of you to make you realize, like, what's really holding me back. And that could be a hard pill to swallow, but I know that you can, you know. I know that you can swallow those pills even when it's really tough. And I'm truly grateful for the path and everything that it's granted me, because I wanted this for so long, just to pack up and go whenever I wanted. And even though this is a solo trip, and I've never done anything like this before, I was sitting on the airplane with the lady, and she's sitting next to me, and she's like, yeah, we was coming from San Francisco, and she sat next to me, and then she's like, oh, is it your first time? I'm like, yeah. She's like, why'd you want to go? Just because. And people keep asking me, why do you want to go? I wanted to. Okay, what are you gonna do? I don't know. I really don't. I knew some things I wanted to do, but the grand overarching thing, I really don't know. I just wanted to do it. And it's that part of our spirit that we don't get to express very much. The I don't know, being in the unknown. Lady told me, she was like, you're so brave. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but I'm figuring it out. You do the best with what you have. Period. There's no, if you feel like the fantasy is so much better than reality, then you're wrong. When I got here, I thought it was going to be different, but I'm glad it's not. I'm glad it's not what I built up in my head. I'm glad that it's real and it's right in front of me and I get to touch it. Because the fantasy was what I wanted it to be. And it always left me with that gaping hole somewhere that was incomplete. And now I see like, oh man, so much better than to live in here and then now than it is to be inside your head somewhere in like a weird fantasy future. And in being here actually showed me like the immense way that you will show you how much love is available to you. And what do I mean by that? I think a lot of times we get caught up in having to wait for a knight in shining armor or for the prettiest girl in the room to come talk to us and change our lives. But once you see it's so much bigger than that you see so much love being offered to you every day. And how do you envision love? Do you only envision love as a romantic gesture, or do you open your mind up to the possibilities of how love can show you that it's all around you? I see that every day, everywhere where I walk. It's just so much love available to you. And you have to kind of get out your own way to open that up. And once you get out your own way to open up those different channels of love, man, you'll feel nurtured, comforted. You'll feel like a boss. You'll feel like that millionaire that we all think we could aspire to be. And once I got to see the different facets of love, I can clearly see how much I truly love myself and how much, quote unquote, the universe or the world around you has so much to offer you. That pessimism could really get in the way of you finding your true love, which is you, which is the love you have in you is the truest love of them all. But you gotta take that leap and step forward. Gotta take it. Yeah, there's no time for holding back, especially not at this point in time where the world dynamics are changing so much. The gloves are off and you have to do something new. There's no time to ponder and think about what you should be doing or try to use an old way of thinking and old habits and old tricks. Shit is done for. 100%. And the God in you will show you. God that you are will show you exactly what you need. And if you could get out your own way to say, well, it doesn't look like this, well, that just reminds me of the story about the guy who goes down the road and he's looking for God and all he keeps coming across is the prostitute. And then he does this a numerous amount of time, infinite amount of time, until he stops to ask the prostitute, hey, I'm looking for God, have you seen it? And she was like, I've been standing here right here the whole time. What does that tell you? Get out your own way. Stop thinking something looks like what you think it should look like. And take out that closed eye view that you have, the super focus on your narrow worldview, and look up sometimes. Look up and look around you and just take it all in. And you'll find more answers than what you think your first two, your choices, or this either or thinking that we like to put ourselves in. To see so many more possibilities. But I'm a living testimony to this shit. I'm not, man, I think about where I've been and how I got here. Oh my gosh. Crazy. And I hope that one day that you can look back at your life and say, damn, I really did this. Because I'm in that space right now, just like for real gratitude. And I hope, I don't know, if it just only reach one person, I'll be alright with that.